What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Sly Jordy, and welcome back to F1 23 Driver Career Mode. We are live, as you can tell, once again, and I finally got my hair cut. It was really annoying at the front, or everywhere, quite frankly. It was getting quite long. I do like it decently long, but whatever. I now need a shave, so that's the next thing, but whatever. You might be wondering, why are we streaming F1 23 Career Mode after I've only just started the series and blah blah blah? Basically, I'm getting bored of editing these episodes. I'm not getting bored of playing them, I'm rather getting bored of editing them. Now, it's not because, it's F1 content, but because it's F1 23 content. It's, content that I've kind of already done. It's not that I'm getting bored, it's just that I feel like I'm just kind of pigeonholing myself into a box of only doing F1 content when I'd rather be doing other content as well in the meantime. So basically, instead of doing just F1 23 in terms of recording and editing and having that taking a lot of time, instead we're actually going to live stream the series so you guys can watch live and obviously chat with me live as well, and I personally will have more time to do recorded and edited videos on other games entirely, because and I'll also have more time to not only do other games, but also progress this series at a pace that I really want to. Like I said, I want to do as much of this content as possible until November, because at the end of the 2024 season, that's when I'm going to go to other F1 games, like older ones, like 2016 and whatnot. Definitely 2016, that's one I really want to play on the channel, and that's one we'll be playing in November. So, yeah. This is the episode where we're going into the Spanish Grand Prix, and if you missed last episode, it was at Imola. So we've just basically finished our triple header of the hardest events in the game, those being Jeddah, where we got a 6th place finish, Baku, where we got a 2nd place finish, and Imola, where we got not only another podium, but a fastest lap on top of that. And a lot of stuff has been happening with the championship since then. Max Verstappen has been absolutely incredible, definitely the in-form driver. However, he spun out at Baku, so because of that one result, that one pointless result, and Leclerc's back-to-back P1s, Leclerc is in front of the standings. But don't let that fool you. Verstappen is clearly the man in form. Once he gets out in front, he's gone. So yeah, we'll just see what happens from this point onwards. Of course, we've still got we're in P3 ourselves, on par with Carlos Sainz, 59 points. We're also in a rivalry with Sergio Perez. This is not going to be like a storyline sort of thing going on, though. This is sort of just a points rivalry where I feel like we can realistically compete with Sergio Perez. So yeah, it's been a decent start to the season. As you can tell, we're doing 16 race seasons as well. We'll see how the pacing goes in this video, because we might do the way we did for F1 23. Well, the way we did for this game in the My Team live streams, where we did like 2 per episodes. We'll see. I'm definitely messing around with the idea in my head of actually shortening the session length from 35% to 25%. And it will also give us a feel for how my F1 2016 series will do, because that doesn't have 35%, and I'm going to do that 25% race length for that series most likely. So I might change this to 25% just to see what the pacing is like, not only with the episodes, but with also how I feel doing the long live streams. Because if you guys remember, when we did 35% for the My Team streams, these were like 3 hours long, 3 to 4 hours long in some cases. So it might be, well, I think the 4 hour long one was the triple header, the South American triple header for the My Team series. So still about 2 to 3 hours though. So I might actually try and test how the 25% session length feels, because there's still a semblance of strategy involved, you know. Alright, support the charity or honour commitments. The charity has asked if you would be happy to patronise their cause by becoming the face of their latest campaign. Unfortunately, this would mean you missing Powertrain Department's team building event. Why would I say no to the charity? Also, we're pretty far ahead in Powertrain. Okay, yeah, just checking audio. We're doing really well in terms of the powertrain, and that does remind me to actually go into our R&D. We've got 4 people watching. What's up, guys? Yeah, we could further upgrade the powertrain if we really wanted to. But yeah, we're already like a decent part ahead of the rest of the grid in terms of the powertrain. So it's really not something I'm worried about. We should probably look into some durability though, that's for sure. But we have some front wing end plates coming in. There you go. That's beautiful. We don't really have much time before the Spanish GP, so whatever.
We'll have them with us for the next Grand Prix.
Right. So let's upgrade. We've already got everything else coming in. Oh, wheel rim covers for the aerodynamics. Okay, of course I'm going to do that one. And that will actually put us on par with Mercedes, which will be great for us in the overall performance. So yeah, we're definitely going to go ahead and do that. So yeah, without further ado, let's go into another Powertrain Department event apparently. Oh, that's the event that we just did. So that gives us 1,000 driver acclaim. Awesome. Before we actually go into that, let's have a look at our driver perk system, which isn't a thing anymore in F124. But it's a real nothing burger of a feature, to be fair. You don't notice it. Hell, you might go your full like playthrough of career mode without noticing it, to be honest. But yes, here we go. Round 5 of the Formula 1 World Championship in Spain. And the race is full wet. Oh, wow. Okay, so that basically takes out all relevance of the practice sessions, to be honest. Other than, like, you know, preparing for qualifying, of course. But yeah, full wet race in Spain. I don't think I've ever done that on this game in particular. And the handling is 90%, so it's guaranteed. Wow, that's great. That's great for content. Awesome. And we just had a really chaotic Imola where it was like inters in Q1. It was full wets in Q2, and then inters for the second lap of Q2, and then it was inters Q3, and then softs at the end of that. And wow, look at the progress history in terms of this. We have gone now further ahead of Alpine, getting closer and closer towards the top 5 on the grid, which is what we want, of course. So, yeah, I'm not sure what we're going to do in terms of any driver moves. This is canonically our second season. I'm treating this as kind of building off of our F124 season, as the grid was basically the same anyway, at that point in time anyway. So this is our second season in F1, so we're not having as good a season as we did in Season 1. Of course, at this point in the season, I'm pretty sure we'd won our first race at the Australian Grand Prix. But other than that, actually, I think our season has been more or less better, perhaps, maybe. But we did get, like, 4 wins in that F124 season. So, you know, it really goes to show just how, like, inconsistent that game's difficulty was. It was a weird game. So we do need to replace our ICE. That was one thing I did remember. But I don't really want to. I actually remember looking at it now because we've got Canada next, and we really only have like 4 ICE things, and I don't really want to receive any grid penalties. So honestly, I think it'd be worth. Oh yeah, to be fair, we're also on the inters for the race, so it won't really hurt us as much because a lot of our time is actually going to be made up for in the corners. So I think it might be worth keeping our ICE as it is, to be quite honest. Let's move this camera. We'll move it like down here for a second. So we've got 50. It's so weird seeing the camera down there. You couldn't do this on PS4. So yeah, 56% on the ICE. We got 40% on the MGUK, 42% on the MGUH, 43%. So A lot of these will need replacing, like these three will need replacing within the next couple of Grand Prix. I know the Energy Store will need replacing halfway through the season. I think that will last us until like Silverstone at least. That wears a lot slower than everything else, but the MGUH is about the same percentage it was from the last time I replaced it. And I probably replaced it because we had Baku next. Baku, like, you know, Jeddah, Baku, and Imola are very reliant on the straight line speed, which is why, especially now we're in the wet, I want to save it for Spain. Like, I know Spain is a very high speed track. However, I believe the car and, you know, I am stronger at Canada than I am in Spain. I don't know. That is debatable, whether I'm better at Spain or Canada, to be honest. But I think with the car that we have, which is the Williams, the 2023 Williams, Canada, obviously, goes without saying, would be the better track for us. So, yeah. We're going to hop into this one practice session, and we're going to actually change the session length to short, which is 25%. We'll keep the qualifying format the same. But yeah, session length, 25%. So it won't be that different, to be fair, because to be honest, 35% is just longer stints. It's just a longer race, whereas 25% is like, you know, just a bit shorter, but you still have the pit stops. So, whatever. So I'm only going to do track acclimatization and race strategy, and then we'll do quick practice for FP1 and 2, I think. I think that would be the better idea that we have. And I might leave the camera down here, to be fair. We'll see how it looks when we actually get onto the track. Just getting my water bottle. I don't want to be refilling and just drinking Pepsi Max all the time. Alright. Don't look too bad. I mean, I could definitely deal with this in cockpit view, that's for sure. This is not bad at all. So if we were going to do...
I told you about the new parts that have come in from the factory, right? Well, they're all fitted and good to go. I hope they do the trick.
Right, okay. So, yeah, we're going to go out on the hards. I should probably do the setup first. I can actually see a lot more stuff that's worthwhile. That's more important if I put the camera down here. It does look a bit weird, like, to where I'm looking and stuff, but that's mainly because I've never had the camera down here. Just moving the actual physical camera, I actually made that worse. I think I'm trying to line it up. I know, I'm a bit OCD in this regard. Now I've got it too far to the right. Alright. I'm going with that before it drives me crazy. Okay, so we're basically going to treat this exactly how we treated the F124 streams and just do it the exact same way. So yeah, it is a shame that we're not on my last gen version of F123 though. Obviously since I kept the last gen version on my PS5 when we did the My Team series, because that was where my career save was, and you can't port career saves over. But now we're doing the driver career mode, and now we've come back to F123. Obviously, I'm now on the next gen version, which I do prefer, mainly because we have, the haptic feedback for the PS5 and stuff. Honestly, if I was on Xbox, I wouldn't even see the point in playing next gen F123. I mean, if you play online all the time, apparently there is an advantage in frame rate. You are on 60 FPS, but content-wise, you don't really see that. In the recorded videos, you do. I'm pretty sure. When I upload the usual format of episodes, you actually see these videos in 60 FPS. However, if you're watching this live, it's actually 30 FPS for you guys. I have tried streaming in 60 FPS before, and it brought a whole world of issues. Like, the stream VOD actually cut off like an entire fucking 2 hours of a stream that I did when I tried that, and I had to, and the worst part of it was part of a series, so I had to delete my save data and redo that whole part of the game all over again. Thankfully, it was not like F1 or WWE related or something like that. It was on the Saints Row reboot, so I only did like one more episode on that anyways. But yeah, to get back to my original point as to why it is a shame that we're playing next gen, all my setups, they don't port over, unfortunately. I understand career saves. There's a lot of variables going on with a career mode, obviously, like driver changes and stuff. It would take a bit of faffing around in the coding to be able to do something like that, so I really don't mind not being able to port over career saves. My issue is, like, this shouldn't be too bad. It's just a bunch of numbers, you know? Like, surely I should be able to port over my setups, you know? And technically you can. I'm pretty sure you could copy your own save setup, like setups from Time Trial. I don't know, man, but it is a bit annoying, that's for sure. So, depending on how I feel, I don't know when we're going to get into our next episode of F123 after this, which is why depending on how I feel, I definitely want to do 2 races today. Because I also need to do Secret Agent Clank, and I was hoping to finish Secret Agent Clank before Epic Mickey comes out, which I'm really looking forward to. I think that lands on the 23rd, because I have it pre-ordered. So that's literally tomorrow. Never mind then. Never mind. So, we're not playing Secret Agent Clank tomorrow. We're doing Epic Mickey, because that's out tomorrow. So, that will be our stream for tomorrow. Probably be a late night stream though, so maybe we'll see about doing some F123 during the day. We'll see. But that is the setup done. We'll tweak some stuff as needs be, but without further ado, let's get into... Yeah, I want to see how the hards feel, so let's do track acclimatization. I was thinking we'd just do race strategy and then quick practice.
Okay, track's green right now, so take a few laps to get the tyres up to 10.
Right, so I want to see how this gets in the way of our speedometer, whether or not I move the camera back over there. I forget I've got the camera uninverted now, so when I look to go that way, you know... Oh no, it's completely covered it! Okay, that is not going to work at all. Not going to work in the slightest, so let me move this back over here. To be fair, in the race is when I need to put it there, so it might be a little bit of faffing around in terms of just moving the camera around, but in the race I definitely need it out of the way here. But in the menus I think we'll have it as it was earlier. So, here we go, our first laps around Spain. I need to move this phone so I can see if the stream is online and stays in sync and stuff from my seat. All I gotta do is look down. So I just had to move it further forward so I can actually see it and not just be looking at my controller. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, this game feels drastically different on next gen. Like, it feels like a new game. Like, not drastically different as in it feels like a different game, but it feels like a newer game. Like, jumping from F123 on last gen to next gen definitely feels different enough to satiate me to a certain point. At least the racing does anyway. And, you know, waiting in lobbies is a lot more pleasurable in 23 than 24. The 24 electronic music, like the theme music, sort of grew on me as we went on. I hated them when I heard them for the first time in the beta, but they grew on me a little bit. But compared to the orchestral stuff that Ian Livingstone did for F122 and 23, and I mean he also did the same for 21, it's night and day. I don't know why they replaced the soundtrack, to be honest. But I assume we're going to have a different soundtrack every year, so next year, F125, we're going to have the same menu music as we did in 24, unfortunately. Which is a shame, because there's some really, really good gems on this soundtrack in particular that haven't even been uploaded to Spotify. Like, the ones that are on 22 are there, which is half of this game's soundtrack. But there were like 3 songs specially made for this game that have only been used for this game. And didn't even get a Spotify release, which I think is a proper shame.
Okay, DRS zone coming up. Get ready to open it. Distance is on your MFD.
So yeah, we're going to do 3 laps on the hards here, and then we'll move over to do race strategy on the mediums. I feel like I need to do race strategy because, you know, it really helps in terms of fuel, like knowing how much fuel my team needs to put into the car. I didn't do it before and paid for it in the season 2 finale of my team. Like, I completely ran out of fuel, and did we even finish in the points in that race? We were on for a win, and it was embarrassing because it was like the final race to my first title winning season. We could win the championship this season. Who knows what will happen between Leclerc and Verstappen. We are P3 in the standings, but there are other drivers as well. We're level on points with Sainz, and if you guys have been watching the last few episodes, you know that Ferrari have been really, really strong. They are clearly the strongest car on the grid right now. Definitely better than Red Bull. And it's only because Verstappen's behind the wheel that he was leading the championship for ages, but the one mistake he made threw him out of the points entirely in Baku, and yeah, now Leclerc's in front. But yeah, this car feels great around this track right now, I won't lie. But to be fair, the wing levels haven't changed too much, just the rear is a bit lower. Honestly, I think I could put the front a bit lower as well. We are on the hards, and it just feels really, really light around some of these corners. So I could put it even lower, which will give us a little extra speed on the straights. But yeah, these corners feel really, really easy. So I think we could do it. And I think that it just goes to show the amount of work that we've put towards improving the aero on this car. I think if we like stuck with Williams, we could win the championship next season. Like season 2, but I don't know. I don't think I want to stay with Williams for the whole career mode, even though I do support Williams, you know. I do have a YouTube series to get doing, and, you know, I think it might be more entertaining if I switch to a different team. Because I know I'm going to do a Williams career mode in F1 26, so, you know, it might be worth just freshening things up a bit. There you go, that was a very quick lap from us.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
Alright. So let's pit, and then we'll go in to do race strategy. I don't know how I've gone quicker than Piastri though, I'm not going to lie. It's not like I've been using ERS or anything. And I've not turned the difficulty down, I've left it exactly where it should be. So maybe Piastri just didn't have a good lap. I don't know, or maybe this setup is just so good. Who knows? Maybe the AI ain't so good around Spain. Stroll's giving us the slipstream. This will give us time to practice our pit entry for this race as well. I remember the first time we did Spain in season 1 of my team, and there was that massive bump in the pit entry, which was right here. You can still kind of feel where it's supposed to be, but like it was really bad. Like it almost took us out the race in our episode of that. Yeah, the car feels really, really quick with this setup. So, and to be fair, I'm taking my setups from the same website I did for last year on the last gen. So, you know, it's not as if I'm changing my setups. It's the exact setup I've been using since the My Team series, which I prefer, obviously. I mean, if they worked before, I'm obviously going to want to use them again. And there you go. So, obviously I think I'm going to want to change this, so we'll put the wing levels lower. We could probably put it as low as 32. I feel that confident right now that I genuinely feel as though that could be really, really good. I don't know, but let's go. Flying lap on race strategy. Let's do it. So this will dictate our fuel load for the race, really.
Okay, give us some good, consistent laps, please. We're looking for good data that we can
Hamilton's
work into
going
a race
quicker.
strategy.
Yeah, Piastri must not have had a good lap because even Russell's gone quicker on the mediums. So here we go. Let's see how this feels then with the lower wing. Not drastically different, to be honest. I barely even feel the change, which is great because that's going to give us extra straight line speed and not feel too different in the corner. I feel it a little bit there. I definitely feel the lower wing, but it's not too different. It might just be on that particular corner, to be honest. I don't think it will lose as much time compared to how much we'll gain. Perez has gone quicker. He is on the soft, so I'm not worried about pace there. I mean, obviously we're nowhere near the Red Bull, but Perez is not good in that Red Bull at all, so I think we kind of even the odds with the way we drive the Williams and the way he drives that Red Bull. Yeah, we have gone quicker than Perez, so yeah, never mind. I've gotten so much better at this game, to be honest. If you go back to my season 1 of my team, it's night and day. It's crazy how bad I was then. We played at like 10 difficulties lower than we do now as well. We're at 95 now, which I feel is perfect difficulty for me, and this game in particular. To this day, I couldn't tell you what difficulty was perfect for 24, because it was so inconsistent. 95 felt, you know, consistent as it usually does in qualifying, but then in the race it just felt like it had bumped up to about 100 or 105, whatever. And then if I turned it down to 90, qualifying was piss easy. And then also the race was piss easy too. Like, there was just no real consistency other than, like, to the difficulty other than certain, like, lower difficulties. Well, to be fair, it was just extremely hard to overtake in 24. And really hard. Like, I understand wanting to replicate the dirty air of real life, but 24 did it too much. To the point that, like, you were just... If a car was in clean air, you were never going to catch up to that car. And I just think that's unrealistic now for a lot of the cars in today's Formula 1. Like, yes, you get the odd race where... You know, Lando Norris finishes 30 seconds ahead of everybody else, blah, blah, blah. Or Max Verstappen, like the beginning of the season. But most of the races have been somewhat close. 24 didn't have any of that. Like, at least with the AI, anyway. If it was you out in the lead in clean air, the AI were always going to catch up to you. And that was my issue with F124. It seemed as though we were dealing with a lot of dirty air. So in online races, it's great. However, when you're racing against the AI just don't seem to be taking any dirty air penalties, you know? You know, it's similar to the tyre temperatures debacle, where the AI always have a perfect tyre temperature to the point they don't need to warm their tyres up on a formation lap or a safety car stint, you know? Whereas we do, because it does affect us, which is just blatantly unfair. And now we've got another thing on top of that, which affects the entire race, not just like the first few laps of a stint. It affects the entire race, and that it was like, regardless of all the good stuff that they did to fix F124, they never fixed that because nobody's pointing it out, you know? And for me, that was the biggest issue I had with F124. Don't get me wrong, 24's got some great parts about it, you know, but all the little things added up in the end to the point that, like, no matter how much good 24 did in terms of the patches, it was still frustrating to know about little issues that hadn't been patched yet, and seeing patches go time and time again without addressing it, you know? And to my understanding, F122 had a similar issue, but then you add on, like, the new ERS system that they changed for some reason, even though there was no changes to ERS in real life, you know? Just all these little things. Well, I wouldn't even call the ERS thing a little thing, but all these things added up to the point that, like, why wouldn't I just go back to F123? You know? Why wouldn't I just go back to this game? When the teams were pretty much the same, and
that was a really good job indeed.
the UI, the calendar and stuff, the features outside of the career mode. From what I've heard, the career mode features aren't even that good because
stopping this lap.
People have done multiple seasons. Bear in mind, I only did one season. People did multiple seasons, and to be fair, even in season 1, the amount of secret meetings you get, like, they're not even secret anymore. You're having them every single week, and if you reject the secret meeting, the team finds out anyway and knows that you did a secret meeting. Like, no, it's not secret then, is it? It's a shame, because it was one of the things I was excited about, but in practice it just... too much. There's too many secret meetings. Like, in Arava's YouTube series, he joined Mercedes. 2 races in, he gets a secret meeting with Aston Martin. Like, that's just not realistic at all. No team is going to go after a driver that has just moved to another team. Like, no. I don't know. It's just a bad game, and it's a shame that, like, I know F125 might be a really, really good game because it's made by the same guys who made this, but it's going to have all the new things that 24 added, and it's just going to sour the experience for me, you know? Like, yes, we're going to have better handling and physics, and, you know, the dirty air is probably going to be dumbed down as well, but we're going to have the shitty ERS system, we're going to have the dirty air still. We're going to have that new career mode that doesn't really add much, and in fact in some ways is worse, you know? I don't know, man. Just gotta see what they do with it, you know? I have no doubt that F125 will be a much better game though, and I'll definitely probably be playing that a lot, like for the full year, like I wanted to do for F124, but yeah. Just, I couldn't play that game. It was just not fun at all. But yeah, there's our practice session done. So, yeah, we can pretty much retire from the session now.
The session is drawn to a close, so let's...
Carlos Sainz was quickest in FP1. That's not bad. I pressed the wrong button. Okay. Alright, moving the camera back down here for a little bit. Let's go to quick practice. Yeah, let me double check my difficulty. Yeah, still on 95, so the AI was just a bit slow for the early FP1 runs. Or maybe our setup was just really good. Only time will tell, but it won't matter anyway, actually, because the race is in the wet, so, and it's full wet, apparently. So, yeah. Right, so this is going to be really good news for our engine. We can skip FP3 entirely, because we've now pretty much got all of our R&D points from the practice sessions with this. Boom. So that's our practice sessions done. We don't have to do any of the other ones. So we could skip FP3 now, which saves our vehicle, like our engine parts, tenfold. And we're in the Williams, so it's one of the lower cars, and they run out a lot quicker. So yeah, it's a bit weird jumping back into Season 1 cars. You know, after playing like post Season 3 F123 My Team cars for so long. You know, Season 3, like, no, not even that. Because Season 2, you nearly max out the cars as well, don't you? And then Season 3, they maxed out. Season 4, they dumbed them down a little bit. But we got really unlucky with ours, where it only dumbed down the aero and the chassis when it really needed to dumb down the powertrain. I don't know. The regulations were just all over the place. We're going to have a bit of trouble with our ICE in the race. However, it's going to pay off for us big time in Canada when we could put a new one in. And maybe, it again, since it'll be full wets or inters at most, it won't affect us that much anyway. But yeah, the MGU-H might need to be replaced soon as well. I think I could push that a little bit more though, perhaps. We'll see how it looks at the end of the race, but the ICE definitely needs to go after the race, and it might even affect us in a bad way for this one. I'm just going with what's logical in the game. You know, we only need it to do well for qualifying, and since we're not doing FP3, that definitely does help us. So, yeah. There you go. 742 R&D points. I don't know how many we have, but it'll be in the top right. And driver acclaim leveling really means nothing. I guess that's the one thing I can give to F124. I love that we've got a rating system now. In the grand scheme of things, it means absolutely nothing because it's still the same person playing at the end of the day. It's not like FIFA where it adds onto your pace, your actual pace, your skill moves and stuff. Like, it literally means nothing in F1, but it's nice to have something to work towards. But again, it doesn't save what is fundamentally a bad game. However, it does have me look forward to F125 because it will be a much better game in gameplay, and we'll get all the stuff that F124 added to the career mode as well. I probably should have skipped a year, honestly. If I could go back, I probably still would have bought F124, however, I would have waited a month. And I would have had a lot more patience for that game as well. Probably wouldn't have played ranked so much as well, but who knows. But yeah. Definitely should have waited a month for that. I think I'll probably still pre-order 25 if the beta's good. If the beta's good. But it just goes to show how much of a failure F124 is, that it's like September and I'm already talking about the F125 beta. But instead of doing beta 1, I think I'll do beta 2, which is more representative of the final game. I could do beta 3, but I feel like since that's so close to the final game, I'll have less of a chance of actually getting into the beta. Whereas beta 2 is like right in the middle. Like, a lot of people will want to play beta 1 because it's your first experience of the game. However, you got 2 of the betas coming up, so it might be entirely different. Why am I talking about the beta that's not going to happen till like May next year? April? I think it'll be early May, because they're trying to push back the F1 games earlier and earlier. And I'm pretty sure F124 was like... Oh, it came out in May, but I think we were playing as early as April for the F124 beta. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the beta was in April for that game. So F125 might be early April, maybe even pushing into March for its beta. And then it will get an early May release. Right, we could upgrade the powertrain, but I did say I wanted to do the MGU-K improved materials, and we can also do the MGU-H improved materials, and then wait till after for the ECU. But we're doing really good in terms of R&D points. Reliability testing for the turbocharger would be massive as well. Alright, so this is what we're working on. Quite a lot. Two durability parts, 2 aero parts, 1 chassis, 1 powertrain, so pretty much all across the board. And with all those added upgrades, that would actually put us right on par, actually I think a little bit in front of Aston Martin and maybe Mercedes. So that would definitely put us into the top 5 on the grid. So who knows, maybe we could win the championship with the Williams. That'd be insane. It is still early days, we're only 25% through the season, so you never know. So this will be our last chance to make any changes engine-wise, but I'm going to stick with my gamble because we'll thank ourselves for it later, in later races where we're not taking grid penalties when other drivers are. So, yeah, let's go. Qualifying, full qualifying for the Spanish GP, and I'm feeling really confident because I'm pretty good at this track. So, yeah, I'm predicting a Q3 finish, maybe a P7. That's where I'm thinking. That's usually where we are anyway when we're on strong tracks. Who knows? Again, I've gotten a lot better. I used to be really bad at Baku, but I've really improved on that track now. It just all comes down to how good our lap will be. Let me move this camera once more. I've just turned it off by accident. It doesn't matter. There you go. Okay. And the good thing about qualifying in F1 23 as opposed to 24 is I can do this and not have to worry about the tyres losing a lot of wear. The issue with... oh god, I was really not expecting it to give me control then. The issue with F1 24 is that the AI doesn't know how to save tyres. So now that doesn't work for AI cars. But when it works for you, when you're about to start a flying lap in qualifying, you've already got some pretty worn soft tyres, and it's not good. It puts you at an immediate disadvantage, which was one of the things that annoyed me about F1 24, how I liked it first, but it eventually annoyed me, because we had to basically have a slow outlap. Like, we had to actively do the outlap instead of being able to do a flying lap. Unless you were on lower difficulties, of course. But if you're on a difficulty that's close to your skill, you're going to be spending a lot of time doing outlaps, which, again, people might prefer to do, but as a content creator who wants to save time on some of the more dead sections of a video, wasn't good. So that's definitely something pre-F1 24 that is one of my favourite little things about these games before that game, because I can afford to do a flying lap without having to worry about tyre wear, because I know it's exactly the same as what the AI would do. Whereas with 24, that wasn't the case, and I'd be at a big disadvantage with my lap. That and being able to use overtake in the qualifying laps is so dumb. Yeah, this setup is mad. Big difference in the corners. And that's us. That's us done with Q1. Like, that's immediately putting me through. No doubt in my mind. And to be fair, our powertrain is well ahead of other guys now. So that might be a thing. The setup is really helping us in the corners. But the straights, with our powertrain, it is basically the exact same as what we were doing in F1 24 Season 1. If you guys watched our F1 24 playthrough, we improved the powertrain big time. And even when we didn't want to, Albon kept putting in upgrades for the powertrain. And so when we got to tracks like Canada, we were the most powerful engine on the grid by quite a bit. And it seems as though we're reaching a similar situation now in F1 23 Year 2. So... big deal, big deal. So that's really going to help us on this track, the next track, other tracks. Like having the most powerful powertrain is a big, big deal in this game, especially when you get that setup down. But there you go. Easily through to Q2. and that's predictable. Surprised Hamilton beat our time, to be fair, fair play. But both Ferraris beating us, that is definitely predictable. They have a really good, they have the best car on the grid right now in our career mode. Alright. Let's go for our second quali lap. But yeah, as our pacing is going right now, I might do a second race weekend this episode. And then we'll do another 2 tomorrow before we play Epic Mickey when that is out. Which is tomorrow, I'm pretty sure, because we get early access. Which is awesome. So if you've got any interest in that game, stay tuned. I'll be one of the first people playing it. A day early, only a day early. So if I don't end up streaming tomorrow, it's a huge missed opportunity. But hey, the skins that we get are really cool. And it's going to be a great game. I'm really looking forward to it. We've got Secret Agent Clank still to finish as well. I've got a ton of stuff planned for Halloween. Like, you guys are going to love the Halloween content that I've got planned. Especially if you're a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's. Or horror games in general, to be fair. But mainly Five Nights at Freddy's. As we'll be doing a playthrough of Five Nights at Freddy's 4 throughout October. And my objective is to beat all 5 nights. All the nights after that, we'll see how I feel. But yeah, that game is terrifying. I'm really, really not looking forward to playing that game. But it's going to make for amazing content, so... We really couldn't find there. 3/10 off of Sainz. What's our how's our ICE looking? 65%. Okay. So Sainz was 3/10 ahead of us there. That's the difference. To be fair, our ICE wearing out might be kicking in now. But I feel like our advantage in powertrain might be negating that a little bit, maybe. I don't know. The fact that it's worn might be leveling the playing field between us and Ferrari right now, which is fine. We have a superior setup, I really think so. They are really close, Leclerc and Sainz. Oh my god. Yeah, we're cutting it really fine right now in terms of our advantage in powertrain and, you know, our engine wearing out. But yeah, honestly, I think we'll be fine. And for the tracks afterwards, when we put in a new one, we're going to have a huge advantage. So, who cares, honestly? Just put in a new set of tyres, and then I think we'll go for another lap, just to make sure we make it through to Q3, and then we'll see what we do. Because I think we'll only have one set of softs. But I think for the fun of it, we'll set a scrub lap in Q3 with one of the oldest set of tyres. I think it is quicker to actually brake a little bit around that final corner. I think it definitely is. I think we lost about 2 thousandths from that. Ooh, turn 1 was quicker though. Ah, we've gone wide a little bit there. I'm blaming that on Dirty, yeah. Oh, this is going to be a slower lap, a much slower lap after that. Yeah, that's not a good lap at all for us. Yeah.
Confirmed, we'll receive you at the end of this lap.
Okay, we're going to bin that off. If we get knocked out of Q2, especially with the advantage that we've got right now, It's not good. That's a big bottle from us there. That's not good from us. 66% on the ICE. If we do get knocked out of Q2, that will save us on our ICE, that's for sure. But because we're doing 25% session length now as opposed to 35%, it will also give us less time to make our way through the grid. So track position is really, really important for us now, especially now. But I'm curious to see how quickly, how the content of this series is going to change now that we've put the session length lower. I'm also only doing the one practice session now in our future live streams because before I did FP1 and FP2 and then didn't bother doing FP3. Right. Oh, we just made it. Daniel Ricciardo! Really good there. Wow. Okay, so there's some big changes there. Stroll got knocked out in Q1. I didn't look at any of the results, but Ricciardo P11, Bottas P12. Alfa Romeo and AlphaTauri having strong quali sessions. That's for sure. So yeah, Stroll got knocked out in Q1. I didn't look, but Albon got knocked out in Q1. That's a huge, huge mishap from him. How's he getting knocked out in Q1? Our car is really good now. It's getting closer to the top 5. How is Albon getting eliminated in Q1? What the hell? Okay. However, with the 25% race length, the soft tyres might actually be viable for every race now. For a while it's been mediums to hards, right? In our other races. I don't know. Part of me, like, doesn't want to put it at 25% now. I quite like the 35% race length, to be honest. But we're already almost an hour in to this I don't know. I think we'll keep it at 25% because I know my F1 2016 thing's going to be whatever. And when we do F1 25, which will be our premium content, obviously, the one that we put a lot of focus on, I mean, obviously. We will do that still at 35%. My original plan actually was to do driver, like for F1 24, was to do driver career content, recorded and edited after our first season, and then we were going to do my team content live stream, so you'd get both career modes on the channel. I'm obviously not doing that for F1 23 because we've done a My Team series and we didn't do a driver career last year, so we're doing it now. But we're only doing that because 24 was shit. But yeah. Those will be our plans for 25. My initial plans in terms of team changes for F1 24 we're instead going to do here on this game. So we are definitely going to change teams from Williams at some point. Whether that's at the end of Season 1 or Season 2, you guys will have to find out. But our plan for this series from now on is that every episode will be live streamed apart from the first episode of a season and the final episode of a season. Obviously they are bigger races. More views and stuff, and I want to give them a better feel, so, you know, better editing, obviously using the trackside cameras and the replays as well, as we've been doing for the previous episodes. But, of course, like I said at the beginning of the episode, I also want to do other bits of content in the meantime. That is not bad. To be fair, though, other teams might have been using a scrub set of tyres. It is possible. It's very possible. But P4 on the scrub sets is not bad in the slightest. So, now what? I guess we just wait. Right, let's go. Let's drive out.
Right, the car's ready. Let's get it out there.
Yeah, for our final quali lap, we'll do a drive out. Why not? Right. 68% on the ICE. That's going to give us major issue when we get it to 70%. But because we'll be in full wet conditions, we'll be fine. And this final quali lap should be fine as well. That's from my usual ICE experience. The big issues start happening when you cross the 70% threshold. Like with the gearbox, for example. So we've got it fine, really fine, by about 2%, but our final qualifying lap should be okay. There's a bit of ICE where that will, you know, impact us a little bit, but it doesn't impact you in a big way until 70%. At that point, yeah. Especially if you've got mechanical failures on, but I just think that's just so random, so I don't really like having it on. Right, we'll go full speed now. Warm up the tyres a little bit. And get started on this final lap. Hopefully we don't get impeded. I'd really hate for that to happen. But yeah, Red Bull looking quicker right now. I don't know who's P1, to be quite honest with you. Everybody is out now as we go and do our last lap. And we've got cars coming out, so we might be impeded. But if not, this will be a guaranteed better lap because we're not on scrubs anymore. That's dirty, yeah. Oh god, down by a tenth. And Verstappen's impeded us. What are you doing? Nah, mate, I'm impeding him for that. Didn't even try to get out the way. Did you see that? Diabolical from Max Verstappen there. Absolutely diabolical. Can Hamilton pass us, please? I don't want to impede Hamilton. Oh, you cheeky bastard. Right. Right. Go, Hamilton. Bro's impeding his own lap. What is he doing? Lewis, you're an idiot, bro. Why are you helping Verstappen? Hamilton's just ruined his whole lap. And I'm trying to impede Verstappen's because he absolutely ruined mine. Right. Oh, what a shame, Max. What a shame. That's what you get. That's exactly what you get. Don't impede my lap, bitch. Right, let's see how that's affected both of us. Verstappen set a really good lap anyway. So it might not even affect in a big way. Wow, it did for me. That's for sure. Because we only set a scrub set. A scrub lap, so P10.
With qualifying complete, all that remains now is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
What happened with Leclerc? He was quicker. He must be dealing with somewhere. Who knows? So Verstappen ruins my qualifying lap, and as much as I tried to ruin his, unfortunately, he already set a good enough lap that was capable of P3 anyway, so, yeah. Not good. Not good at all. Why did he impede my lap? There was absolutely no reason, but it was going down the toilet anyway because of Hamilton, and we got dirty air off of him, so probably our fault that we went out too early. Probably should have waited for everybody else. We made a similar mistake in Imola, to be honest. So, Yeah, probably I'd say that's our fault. We should probably just go out last. Go out last, and then, you know, when people are leaving the pits, and then overtake them, so then I can still start my lap before. Or not, who knows? I don't know. Or just wait till they start their lap for me to go. But obviously then I won't have enough time. But, like, I don't know, maybe be a sector behind, so then when I cross the line, you know. I don't know, we'll have to really think about that, but that wasn't good. We not only got impeded in Q2, we got impeded in Q3 as well, which is ridiculous. This is still next-gen F1, by the way. Career mode just takes ages to load.
Welcome along, everyone, to sunny Spain, specifically to the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. So many great moments in Formula One history have been written at this very track over the years, including Michael Schumacher's first win for Ferrari back in '96. That win was in the rain. We might have better weather here today, but we're just as overjoyed to be at the Spanish Grand Prix.
No, we don't. And this isn't sunny Spain at all, Crofty. What race are we watching? Because it's definitely not this one. It is shitting it down. Full wet. That's literally what I'm saying.
So
but yeah, what's up, smelly doggy?
Starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday.
I can't believe Verstappen was still able to secure P3 after intentionally impeding me. There should be penalties for impeding in the game. Oh, it doesn't matter! He's getting an engine penalty. So we got P8. Ricardo and Bottas in the top 10. I don't believe it. Verstappen's got the penalty.
Hulkenberg, Albon, Stroll, Tsunoda.
Horrible from Albon. So it's Piastri and Verstappen. Albon, mate. Our car's nearly in the top 5. How are you getting knocked out of Q1? Around Spain, nonetheless, when we have the most powerful powertrain now. Albon's been really disappointing this season for me. Like, in the game. Just 2 points. We got that little bug there. No conversation. Oh, okay, my God.
We've got that relief of having points on the board finally. So let's keep that form up and get another top 10 finish today, please.
What is this? We did 5 seasons of my team in F1 23 before, like, when this was the current game, and we barely got any wet weather. Now it's 2 episodes in a row. We got 4 wet in Q2 for Imola, and now we got a 4 wet race in Spain. Where was this last year? Christ. Right, so we got 2 strategies we can go for, and clearly staying on the 1 is the best decision. So I'm glad we changed it to 25%, because imagine how many laps we'd have to do at 35% in the rain with no pit stops. Awful stuff. Right. Let's see what we can do. Full wet conditions around Spain. This is going to be so weird.
Okay, so our system
What's everybody going so slow?
Stay in formation and start bringing the car up to temperature, please. Get some load into the tyres and work the brakes. We want them nice and warm by the end of this lap.
I don't think we're warming up these tyres anytime soon, to be honest. Full wets. Look at all the... It's absolutely pissing it down. This is crazy. Well, full wet in sunny Spain. Oops. Flashback that quick. Full wet in sunny Spain is probably going to be my title, with you know, abbreviations, not abbreviations, but quotation marks on sunny. 6 viewers watching, welcome. You've joined just in time for the race. And depending on how I feel at the end of this, we might do a second race weekend, which will be Canada.
Don't look like they're shifting. We're predicting at least 20 minutes of heavy rainfall.
Full wet race. I do not know how I feel. I've got a really itchy nose for some reason. It's really bothering me. And I hope it sorts itself out before we start the full race. So, trying to check my ICE. It's definitely at 70 now. That's for sure. So we're going to have some issues with that. However, I don't think it will affect us too much since it's full wet. And we do have a better setup. Well, I don't know actually. We probably should have changed the wing levels because we're in full wets. Alonso, mate.
Okay, so not
What are you doing? Bro is like brake checking me on the formation lap. We're near Alonso again, man. What is it with this game? And being so close to Alonso. He always retires at the end of season 1 anyway, so I'm quite curious to see who fills that Aston Martin seat. Who knows though, maybe Alonso won't retire at the end of season 1, but he usually always does in this game. Alright.
decent parking. Let's try and get a good launch as the lights go out.
An Alfa Romeo and an Alfa Tauri behind us. Verstappen all the way back in P13. That is not good at all. That's not what he needed after Leclerc bottled qualifying. Not the best reactions from me then. That was a very quick lights out. But away we go now. As we're getting challenged by Ricciardo. Alonso looking for a move past Russell. There's a gap here.
Wanting somewhere on the internal combustion engine. Be aware that we're going to start to see a loss of power.
And we've overtook both Alonso and Russell into turn 1. They're too busy fighting with each other. And we managed to make the turn there, but misjudging the corner there. Russell might be looking for a move. Definitely all struggling in these conditions as Russell makes the overtake. However, we've got the... Oh my god, was not expecting that. Oh, fucking, I was avoiding a collision, but okay. Whatever. Right, no more flashbacks for the rest of this GP. I don't like using them in the race. Wow. See, the game is not hard on Inters, but it changes completely in the full wets. What happened to Russell? Somehow he got overtook by Alonso. What the... Are you okay? What happened to Russell? I can't go to Russell's view for some reason. Why did he get overtaken by Alonso? Oh, it's because he went wide, I think. Wow. Alonso pushed him off. But that's legal. Like, he pushed him wide, but not off. Good move by Alonso as he gets up to P7. But yeah, wet weather driving, like full wets, drastically different from Inters. Like, Inters is just like, Inters kind of normal. Really easy to drive on Inters in this game, but wets, definitely different. Right, here we go then. P6 for us on the first lap, so that's a big improvement from P10. We really need to start catching up to the rest of this pack here though, so there will be no DRS throughout the entire GP most likely. Oh, Jordy, you really need to be more careful there. That purple sector 1 would be from us using a lot of the arse. To be fair, in wet weather we can actually use a lot more. I'm really struggling in these conditions though. And to be fair, this might actually be how the race ends. Because it's going to be hard to make any overtakes here without any DRS in the wet. We'll see if Leclerc ends up fighting with Hamilton, but I think we made all our overtakes for the race, which is another reason why it's good that we put it down to 25%. Because in the recorded videos, I can skip a lot of the boring parts. I can't do that in a live stream. Leclerc and Hamilton side by side. That might give us a little bit of time to cut down and catch up, which it does. We're right on the back of Lewis Hamilton now. Very curious to see how Mercedes do. Russell has overtaken Alonso, but remember, in the 4 races we've had so far this season, Mercedes have had 3 DNFs. 2 for Russell, 1 for Hamilton. They have easily been the worst car this season in terms of reliability. And it's not their engine, it's not their power unit per se, because most of the teams on the grid have Mercedes engines. So it's something to do with their powertrain that's not related to the main unit. I don't know how it works. If they're having engine issues, surely the rest of us should. Should have seen a McLaren and Aston Martin DNF by now, but I guess not. But to be fair, Hamilton is losing pace to Leclerc. So maybe Hamilton's got an engine issue. And we might see another engine failure from Mercedes, the 4th in 5 races, which would be absolutely catastrophic for that team. He's losing a lot of time on the straight. I think. It does feel like he is. Car still feels good though around a lot of these corners. I was looking at it, but I don't think we're close enough for a move just yet. Got to keep an eye on Russell and Alonso behind. Those guys have caught up pretty well here. They might have dirty air in this game, but I don't know. Now, after playing 24, like, coming back to 23, maybe there is, but 24's turned it up like a million. Like, it feels awful in that game. Yeah, Hamilton's losing more and more time to Leclerc, and we're losing time in the dirty air. I think Hamilton's got an engine issue. I'm positive of that. Other than it being a Mercedes. Oh, really close to the back of him then. I can sense an overtake coming, I just don't know when. I think we're losing a bit of time in the corners. Which is why I probably should have tweaked the front wing before getting into this race, but too late now. I think we could get Hamilton. Definitely can say goodbye to the top 4, I think, unless we get into clean air, but how much is clean air worth in the wet, you know? But these wets are only going to feel worse as we go along in the GP. So I really want to get this move done on Hamilton, but he's starting to pull away a little bit now. I think Norris bottled the start, yes he did. So it is a Ferrari that leads, which is Sainz, followed by Perez, and then Norris. And we have lost a lot of time to Hamilton now, as our car struggles to get around the corners. The wets really wear out quick time in this game. Definitely quicker on the straights, like, we're gaining a lot of time, but it's in the corners where we're losing it now. Look at Verstappen, though, coming through the field, making a move on Alonso.
Okay, heavy rain will be staying with us for a while now, at least a 20-minute window of heavy rain.
Yeah. It's a shame, man. We turned down the downforce to help us for qualifying and then got impeded by Verstappen. So if he thinks I'm just going to let him pass when he comes up to me like I tried to do at Imola, he's got another thing come in. Like, I'm going to defend as hard as I can against Verstappen. I'm not letting that guy pass. But we might not have to, because I'm also going to defend against these guys behind me, in between us as well. But yeah, big bottle from Verstappen there. Leclerc's going to extend his lead in the championship. But yeah, definitely should have turned the downforce back up on the front wing, because you can still do that within Parc Fermé. Right, Hamilton's definitely not got an engine issue now, that's for sure. We need to change our driving style a little bit to compensate for how bad, how awful the wet tyres are. Yeah, our power unit is definitely not as good as Mercedes right now, which says it all. The gamble is not paying off, at least for this race. 72% on the ICE. Hamilton should not be pulling away from me on that straight, because obviously our power unit is better. Our powertrain is better, so, well, it's meant to be. But, yeah. ICE is pretty worn, so we might have to settle. Trying to figure out what areas Hamilton loses time in, because it is going a bit back and forth between us at times. Mate, these tyres are genuinely terrible. I hate driving on full wets. I really do. Right, we've pulled away from the guys behind us. We don't seem to be pulling on Hamilton, which is a strange situation, that's for sure. It's because he's in fucking clean air, that's why. Mate, these tyres are awful, I hate them. Why did we have to be in the wet, man?
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 16.4 seconds.
Honestly, the wet tyres, racing on the wet tyres is like doing the whole race on softs. Like, they get so bad. But it's not like the softs where you got a huge advantage for the first few laps. Like, no, the wets are bad from the get-go. They are awful. They're like super hards. Ultra hards, bro. Verstappen's make the pass on Alonso. For real now. Russell's getting closer to us again, as we have lost time to Hamilton. I'm really hoping somebody spins. P6 is still a really strong finish for us.
Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 1.8 seconds.
I think we could give up on that Hamilton pursuit now and just make sure to keep this position. %74% on the ICE. And these wets, fuck me, man. They can't last the entire race. They are genuinely so bad.
Okay, be careful. We think you're going to start losing some tyre grip anytime now. Radar suggests that this heavy rain will be with us for a while now.
God, imagine if I'd kept it on 35%. Jesus. That would have been awful. Catastrophic.
Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 3.2 seconds.
Oh, Russell had a really bad corner then. I think he might be overtaken by Verstappen.
We've got a gap of about 3 seconds between you and the next car.
I know, shut up, you're giving me really pointless information.
Confirmed.
And there's Verstappen making the pass on Russell. Yeah. Oh wait, imagine if Russell has an engine issue again. We did say that about Hamilton, and then now he's like 3.2 seconds ahead. So whatever, but let's see what Verstappen does now, because I'm not going to let him pass without a huge fight after what he did in qualifying. We could be, we would definitely have a better position by now if it weren't for him impeding. So sod your title defence, buddy. Oh, he's right on the back of me. Luckily I've been saving ERS, so we'll be fine on the main straight. But these wets, oh god, I hate using them, I really do. As Verstappen looks to make a move down the inside, you could barely see it, but he is there. And we'll speed off with the CRS now. Yeah, these tyres are only getting worse. Temps are fine though, they're not overheating, at the very least.
Got that confirmed. We expect you'll be noticing a bit of grip loss in the tyres around now, so just be careful.
Right, 2 more laps. We'll keep Verstappen, Russell, Alonso and Piastri behind. Piastri's had a good race, getting back up into the points, I won't lie. Even though it is only 1 point. What about my teammate? How's he looking?
The gap to your teammate behind is 26.1 seconds. They're on old wets. They're in 19th place. Your last lap time was a 1 minute.
Albon in this series is washed right now. He's got 2 points for the team, to be fair to him, but that's it. The car's capable of more. even for the AI. So, like, that's bad from Albon, not even making it out of Q1. That's embarrassing. We are not winning constructors with Williams, that's for sure, which is a shame. I mean, if we put in the time long term, of course, but it's not going to happen. And they're not going to stay at this team forever, not in this series. Even though I do love Williams. I'll need a fresh start with a different team. But Verstappen has a huge advantage with his aerodynamics in this type of weather, that's for sure.
Okay, gap to the car ahead is 5.1 seconds.
Sergio Perez takes the checkered flag. Wow, when did that happen? And we got P6, which is still a strong result considering where we started, but if it wasn't for that mug, fucking Verstappen, then we would have been a lot better. That rubs salt in the wounds right there. Driver of the day, Max Verstappen. To be fair, he did make a decent amount of overtakes, and that is perfect for Red Bull. Sergio Perez takes the win.
So, Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this result?
Now, I'm not sure how keen I am on wet weather, but it is thrilling in terms of the race. Fans seem to enjoy it at least.
It's not even wet anymore.
Nightmare for the drivers.
When did it stop? How did it stop raining so fast? On the cooldown lap.
The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently, and it's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be so proud of the victory they've secured here.
Well, Norris completely bottled that, and Sainz, because I'm pretty sure wasn't Perez like P3. So I think that shows the aerodynamic advantage for Red Bull coming through for them here in the rain in not so sunny Spain. Yeah, that's the man right there, the genius, Adrian Newey. Ferrari's still the strongest car, but yeah, that aerodynamic's really coming through for Red Bull there.
So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Charles Leclerc, currently leading the championship standings, extends his lead even further with this result. So then, Natalie Pinkham, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Well, there was a lot of incredible driving out
We
there
fall
today,
into
but if I had to
P5
pick
after
someone,
Perez's win
it's got
there,
to be Sergio Perez.
and that will not be good for the
Fantastic
rivalry
driving.
neither.
Let's move on to the constructors. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
Still P3 in the constructors, which ain't too bad, but yeah, that wasn't the greatest from us then. I want to see Perez. Perez's move on Norris. Wow, Norris did not have a good lap 3. So they're fighting right there. Wow, Norris. Getting overtaken in that section. Jesus. Well, there's the aerodynamic advantage for the Red Bull for you. And then, to be fair, Perez didn't really take it. Oh, God, I think Sainz locked up. Yeah, Sainz locks up. Oh, you've bowled it there, mate. a good overtake from Perez. And it basically stayed that way. Perez actually pulled out ahead. And that's because of the aerodynamic advantage. That's for sure. Alright. I need a thumbnail now. That might be good. That might be pretty good for us. Yeah, next to the Mercedes. We'll go with it. Why not? I think we'll go with that. We'll go with that. That's your thumbnail. I don't give a shit. Alright. Boom. Yep, that's it. For Spain, anyway. I think we could do one more. God, Perez gets a big points boost for the rivalry then. Jesus. That's bad timing. Horrible timing there. I don't really like the rivalry system in this game. I'm glad they got rid of it. Oh my god. 2 failures in the R&D department. That is not good. What was one of them? Part failed. I don't really care too much about the powertrain part, but the chassis part is definitely important. Cockpit weight reduction. 0% failure chance. It still comes before the next GP, so I'm not too fussed. Not too fussed at all. Messages, retirement. I told you! Fernando Alonso always retires. That's pretty early on in the season to announce a retirement. Not even halfway through. Only not even 50% through the season, and Fernando Alonso announces his retirement. And to be fair, I don't blame him. That Aston Martin looks like it's going absolutely nowhere. It's completely stagnated to the point that he is getting the most consistent results of his career, but not where he wants to be, unfortunately. So Alonso, he's decided to call it quits. He had a really good season with Aston Martin. This is his 3rd season with the team in our continuity. He had the 2023 season, our F1 24 season, which was pretty good for Alonso, I think, if I remember rightly. I know it was, because he got a win. He got a win in the Hungarian Grand Prix, I remember. But now in this 3rd season, it doesn't really look as though it's really going anywhere. And to be fair, we're in 2025 now. In our F1 24 continuity, since we're carrying this on. And yeah, strange. Why wouldn't you stick around for one more season for the 2026 regulations? Who knows? But also in this continuity, Adrian Newey, because he exists for Red Bull, and anytime Red Bull's winning a race, he's there on that podium. Adrian doesn't join Aston Martin either, so yeah, Alonso maybe making the right decision, at least in this universe anyway. So yeah, let's move this camera, first things foremost, and replace this ICE, ready for the Canadian Grand Prix. So yeah, who's going to fill that Aston Martin seat for Season 2? That is going to be very, very intriguing with that retirement. So yeah, we'll see. Imagine it's a big name joining Aston Martin. That would be crazy. Verstappen, imagine. Alright, what parts would I even want to replace right now? Definitely the MG UK. But to save the parts as much as possible, I'm not going to change any more for the practice session, but the ICE definitely needs switching. The rest of these are fine. So I think the MGU, K and H will be replaced for this Grand Prix. I could push the MGUH, nah, it's 61% now. So it would definitely be in the 70s in the Canadian when we actually get to the race. So I don't want to push that at all. But the MGUK, maybe that could go one more Grand Prix. We'll have a look by the end of the practice sessions how that goes. But yeah, all right. New ICE, new MGUH. Yeah. So I think in terms of upgrades, we don't really need to take a look. We've got 3 potentially coming in for the Canadian Grand Prix. I think one of them for sure, yes. But our aero one failed.
We'll need to tell a team what to redevelop via the R&D screen.
And that will unfortunately not arrive until Austria, which is a shame because that would have helped us big time for the Canadian Grand Prix. That was a major aero upgrade. But we did receive our other one, at the very least, the chassis one that we needed. Speaking of the chassis, the head of the chassis department has stated their opinion on where we should take our development next. They brought up some good points, but it goes against your recent on-track feedback. Well, I'm the one sat out there in the car. Go along with my findings. And the wheel rim covers arrive as well, so pretty good for us. Without further ado, let's go straight to the Circuit Villeneuve. Let's go. So yeah, Williams has historically been pretty strong at this track. Pretty sure we got one of our more memorable podiums here in F1 24. Got that P2 win with the last corner overtake on Sergio Perez. So yeah, and that was in a YouTube short, by the way. I need to get back to doing YouTube shorts again. Alright, so weather looks as though it's going to stay mostly dry. Alonso, that's going to be shaking up the paddock with that retirement. His second retirement, but it's still going to be a big deal, especially now, since, you know, Aston Martin are a top 5 team. That's going to be a big game changer. So who's going to replace him? Who knows? Okay, so what did I want to look at? Progress history. Yes, we're getting closer and closer towards Aston Martin and Mercedes. Very fine. It's getting quite close now. Haas have made some big improvements. Alfa Romeo and AlphaTauri have also made some big improvements, and that explains why they were so high up in that last race. I didn't even check the leaderboard for the last race. So, did anyone get any big results? Doesn't look like it, no. So, Bottas and Ricciardo started out in the top 10. They still couldn't get those points. Yeah, no one really got any points there. Gasly nearly got points for Alpine. But yeah, Alonso definitely struggling with that Aston Martin. Lance Stroll doesn't even have any points. So, clearly, Aston Martin are going kind of nowhere right now in terms of their car. So even though they are in the top 5 of all the cars, I genuinely do feel as though it's only because they're so far ahead in something like durability or something like that, because they're clearly not on that pace at all. No way. We could have a look. Let's see what we got. Yeah, they're pretty high up in aero. What about chassis? Pretty low down in the chassis, to be fair. Bottom 3 for them. Lower than Haas, Alpine and AlphaTauri. That is shocking. Absolutely shocking from them. We're the best in powertrain. Let's get that Stators done. Yeah, bottom 4 there, but to be fair, McLaren are also quite low in terms of the powertrain. No, to be fair, they're equal with the rest of the Mercedes-powered cars, who are now equal with the rest of the grid. AlphaTauri and Alpine got a ways to go. I don't know how AlphaTauri are worse than Red Bull, to be honest. They both use the Honda power unit. So quite strange for them, but Alpine, I get it, because they use the Renault engine. And Aston Martin are the best in durability, and that's what's pushing them out in terms of, you know, the performance charts. They are really good in aero and durability, but powertrain and chassis, they are not doing well at all. So I can see why Fernando Alonso has decided to call it quits here. So who knows who will fill that seat, and who knows how much different the grid's going to look, because at the end of Season 1 there is always a regulation change. So I'm quite curious to see what will be changed. I mean, judging from the actual rules that I do know, it is probably going to be maybe powertrain, like powertrain and aerodynamics. It could be any of them. I don't know how it dictates it. I don't know if the regulations are dictated by my team, like this team, then I know which ones would be, but I think it takes all the teams into account and which parts of the car have been upgraded the most. So who knows how the grid will look come Season 2. But yeah, without further ado, let's go to the track for FP1 of the Canadian Grand Prix. So yeah, we'll do another race weekend. Why not? This is one of the more enjoyable tracks on the calendar as well. Was one of I think it was my favourite track to play in F1 2020. But it was definitely a lot harder in this game. Alright. So, let's move the camera once more. And we'll get this started.
I've had a chat with the R&D team about the new parts, and we're happy that they've been integrated into the car okay. With any luck, you'll be able to feel the improvement, so go and give them a try.
I will. Let's get moving on this car setup thing then. Alright. A lot higher up on the wings than I thought, but we'll have really quick reactions in the corners, I bet. Who knows? I remember Canada was definitely a track that we've struggled on in this game, but once we get it right, I know we'll be really good. And to be fair, we've got the best powertrain on the grid, and that really works wonders for us in F1 24, so yeah. Alright. Tires. And that's it. Boom. Okay.
There'll be a lack of rubber out on track, so take it easy for the first couple of laps.
Alright. So as usual, 3 laps on the hards, and then we'll do race strategy, and then skip the next 2 practice sessions. Oh, energy store, where's kicking in? I've not got 100% capacity anymore, it's now 96, I wonder where that's at. 54%. Yeah, from 50% it starts ticking down. So it's 54%, so it's gone down by 4. Once it reaches 60%, where we'll be down to 90% on the URS. And yeah, we definitely probably got a lot of wear on the wet. that's for sure. So let's actually use the ERS here, because the more you hold, the more wear it takes, wear it has on the actual energy store. That's basically how it works. Completely drifted around the corner there, at least it felt like it. Around the hairpin, I mean. I want to know what that looked like. Not a very good view there of what I wanted to see. Yeah, definitely looks like how it felt. So we'll spend some of this ERS to negate the wear. And here we go. Setup feels really good, I won't lie. Maybe a little too good as we hit the wall there.
Approaching the DRS zone, watch your MFD for the activation point. Program complete and a job well done. We got some excellent data with that run, so come on back to the garage and I can take you through the numbers.
Yeah, that felt really good.
Right, we've got enough fuel for 3 more laps.
Max Verstappen, 113.1. Oh, we're smashing that. This is the difference in powertrain, guys. With a new ICE in as well. It's only going to get even better. Definitely lost a lot of pace there now. Got a few mistakes in sector 3. Let's see how our third and final lap on the hards goes. Oh, not good at all. Completely lost the back end there. Maybe some setup tweaks might be needed. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because there's not even that much wear, so I think we need some setup tweaks. That's for sure. Let me turn ERS off, so we can save as much as possible. Oh no! We don't need to do that. If anything, I need to be spending more to negate that wear. Yeah, probably some wing changes need to happen. Maybe level it out. That's definitely what helped us in Spain. Alright, we go again. Use it round there. Yeah, the rear likes to get a bit happy. So, I think we'll definitely make some tweaks to the setup when we get back in the pits. And that negates a lot of our bad time from that lap. So, boom, fastest lap. Eat shit, Verstappen. Yeah, this setup is great, just needs some tweaks.
Pitting this lap then, coming to the pits at the end of this lap.
Yeah, we're about to run out of fuel as well, so... That's hardly fair, what the fuck? Jesus Christ, right, we've really got to watch that. Whew. So, the pit lane is a lot earlier than it was in Spain, that's for sure. But yeah, setup feels really good, it just need to make some tweaks to it. Okay, just put my phone on charge. Let's do this setup then. So, so why would the rear wing be stepping out? That's what I need to figure out. I don't know. I'm gonna put it down a bit because that gets us a little bit quicker. And we'll see how that feels. But, yeah. I don't know whether putting it more or less would stop it from stepping out. Probably less, right? Less would probably make more sense. I think. Yeah. It's stiffer, right? Like, front wing definitely is, so I think the same would apply to the rear. So I think we've made the right choice there. Alright, whatever. Let's do this. Race strategy.
Everyone ready? Okay, let's go.
We'll use this out lap to waste a bit more of that ERS. That's why I've not done a flying lap. So, let's see what we can do.
might see some rain. ETA about 15 minutes.
So FP2 might be having rain. Not that it means anything, because we won't be doing that. Yeah, I genuinely thought my my F124 video had failed, the sports update one, but it just picked up. It had like barely reached 10 views in the first like day, and then now it's at like 50. At least I think it is. Last time I checked was this morning. But yeah, I'm glad they added the new F2 cars, but we knew that was going to happen anyway. It happens every year. It's not going to get me to return to that game. We'll be using those new F2 cars, the exact same ones, in F125 anyway, so genuinely not fussed, to be honest. Oops. Slow down a little bit so it wouldn't affect the data too much. I don't want lap 3 to be my fastest lap on this data. For the data on the race strategy after that corner cut. I think we made the right choice in terms of switching our wing levels though. We are on a different tyre compound, but I am feeling a lot less slip on the back end. I think the tyres wear out a bit quicker because we're on 25% now and not 35% session length. Oops.
Okay, test complete, and that was a really good job indeed. We got a lot of valuable information out of that. Well done.
Yep, and now we'll just, oh, there's that slip on the back end again. Now we'll just,
right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please.
waste some ERS. On our way back to the pits. Again, bro, that is so strict. Where am I even supposed to brake? Jesus, you're meant to brake like proper early for that, which could cause issues in the full race because you do have to brake a bit earlier. Crazy. But there you go, that's our practice sessions for Canada done. Alright, let's see. Yeah, that's it.
It's time to remind ourselves of our top 3.
Albon better do well here, oh my god. He really let me down in Spain. He was awful. Absolutely terrible. I think he finished, what, P19? So, we'll just see how he does here. It's not what I need right now. Oh my god! We're really not going to finish 7th, apparently. That's awful. That's absolutely awful. Jesus. 3 failures in a row at, what was that, 70% chance of passing it? Fuck. That's awful. Okay. Let's, we'll skip FP3. 3 times failing that in a row. That is not good for the overall pace. Hell, that might not even be good for us, who knows, but we'll see. I don't know what that says about our car, other than it's bad around this track, which is what I was not expecting. When it comes to Canada, the main advice I can give is to remember that you can probably carry more speed in some of these corners than you expect, but you can't be too greedy with the cutting. Some of the curbs here can be ruthless, so make sure you show them respect and don't take too much. It won't take much to find yourself scraping the side of the barrier. And then there's Emma. Why does Mark's face look so, like, weird compared to everybody else? It's so weird. Emma's just looks last gen entirely. Like, and to be fair, Emma's literally tacked onto this game. I think she has like 2 voice lines and then these emails, that's it. Like, who is Emma supposed to be in F123 continuity, you know? Because she's not an agent. You don't have an agent anymore. We haven't had an agent thing since F1 2018, I think. I think it's been that long. I don't think we had Emma in 2019. I could be mistaken. We did have her voice and stuff, but they've been slowly phasing her out since then. And then, like, she's completely gone now in 24. But I miss having an agent. I love having an agent in every sports video game because, like, that's the person you speak to most of the time about everything. Right, so we could go redesigned brake ducts for the aero, which would be very, very useful. Could go monocoque structure, which would be more useful, seeing as though we're bottom in terms of the chassis. And you know what? That would be absolutely perfect to get it before the British Grand Prix, our home race. So I'm actually going to rush it, because if it passes, we even get it for Austria. So that would be a big, big plus for us. Everything else we can't get right now. So, yeah. Let's actually have a look at the vehicle. I don't think I need to replace anything. I think the MG UK I was leaving until next episode. Suffer a reduction in harvesting efficiency. Shit, we'll need that then, since we'll need to replace the energy store soon. So, yeah. Let's actually... I think we should apply that, to be honest. Which I think we will. Maybe next episode. I don't want to replace the energy store until halfway through the season, because we do only have 2, to be honest. And we're nowhere near halfway through the season. We're 5 rounds in. So that energy store would have to last us until, well, Silverstone. Silverstone, since it's the home race. Halfway through the season would be Hungary, but would be after Silverstone, leading into Hungary. But I want to obviously have a good home race. So not only for me, but for the team. So I think for Canada and Austria, we're just going to have to deal with it, with the energy store. So we're definitely going to replace the MG UK, for sure, to kind of negate the negative effects as much as possible. So, yeah. With that being said, let's head into qualifying for Canada. Let's see how good this car can be. All right. Yep, may as well just go straight out. Off goes Albon, and we'll follow. Usually only need 1 lap to get out of Q1, so this shouldn't be any different. I'm going to slow it down the straight so I can... Why is that not saving ERS when I'm not? Weird. It's because we're on hot lap. Okay. It's not the entry to the lap that I wanted, but it's only Q1. I'm not going to worry too much, but I really don't want to waste ERS heading into the lap, especially when we slow down so much before the final corner. It would just be a full-on waste. Alright, so that one, 112.5, we are going to absolutely smash that. Jesus. It's been a very messy lap, I will say that. 110.9. Jesus! That is a monster lap compared to Albon. Woo! Straight through to Q2. To be fair though, I'm definitely a lot more aggressive on the Canada corners against the AI, so even if we had the AI on 100, we'd still be qualifying. Well, we'd at least make it to Q3 at the very least. In the full race it won't make a difference. And in qualifying like Q3 it doesn't make much of a difference neither, but making it to Q3 it does make a big difference. Alright Albon, let's see what you can do. Let's see what you can do, Albon. You've got to make this a really good lap. He does have some slipstream on Sergio Perez, it looks like, which will be very useful for Alex. Yeah, it really should be. Come on, Albon. Make it to Q2. You've got slipstream. Very bumpy over the curbs there. We're all crossing the line, and Albon, P15. Oh my god, a 112.3 might not be good, might just be good enough, but also might not be. Oh my god. Oh, he's just made it. Just made it. Against the usual culprits, but you should be beating Joe. I'm sorry. You should be beating Joe, and quite frankly, you should also be beating Stroll. In F124, he was beating Stroll on the regular. At least in qualifying, anyway, I'm pretty sure. Or at least he was definitely close. Him and Stroll were close while I was competing with Alonso. And again, that matters in this continuity because F124 was our Season 1. This is the 2025 season in this universe. But whatever. Okay, so Q2, let's just do a flying lap. And then we might, yeah, we'll probably have to do a second one. It is getting cloudier, so the temperatures, the track temps are definitely going to be colder. Oh wow, we've gone down to 90% on Energy Store. Energy Stores is 60% now. Oof. That's a big drop from what was 96%. Not a good entry to the lap, that was catastrophic. It's fine. Let's make up for it. Jesus, definitely colder track temps, that's for sure. The car is struggling. 111.3 is massive. Verstappen a tenth quicker. So that is the difference in aero, right there, from me and Max. And that's why the aero needs to improve. There's a tenth in that. And I had a pretty good lap, I'd say. That is enough to make it through to Q3, though, I think. I'm fairly confident that that is. I mean, it was a very quick lap, and I think it's only going to get... I mean, we could look outside. Yeah, it's only going to stay the same, the weather, so I don't think the track's going to get any hotter. It might evolve a little bit, so I might be making a mistake by skipping the quali, but I think I'm confident we made it through. Yeah. Albono does well. Wow, that's surprising. And it's Alonso. Oh, maybe he saw the writing on the wall. P13 in the Aston Martin. Lance Stroll makes it through to Q3, so he's the Aston in Q3 now. At his home race, so that'll be a huge, huge confidence boost to Lance. But Alonso out in P13. Not good at all. Albon P11 though, that is a huge improvement over what he's been like as of late. He needed that lap, I bet. He absolutely needed that lap. Alright, oh, we've got 2 Q2 sets of softs, because we've only needed one each, one lap each, so that is beautiful from us. And that's a beautiful sign for the race as well. Since we're on 25%, the hard tyres are not going to be used much at all now. Which is not something I like, you know. Which is why on the main series that we'd, you know, in F125, the one that we'd record and edit for, it'd be 35%. And I think even for... Oh, I forgot to save energy down there. I think even for this series, when we do recorded and edited episodes, which will be the season opener and the season finale, I'll put it back up to 35%. It's just when I'm doing it live, I prefer it to be a bit more relaxed. I've already done a full series on this game, like a full 5 seasons over the course of a whole year. So, you know, I got nothing to prove on this game. I've done everything. Other than do much in ranked, I want to go back through ranked at some point, see if I can get the PlayStation trophies for reaching gold and elite. I think I'd definitely be able to get the gold one. I don't know about elite though. It depends how the rankings work in ranked that late into F123's like life, you know? Especially since F124 is out, with our 25 on the horizon by the time I feel like going for that. And this is why we've been saving ERS. But what is that wearing out in the engine there? You know what though, for less ERS, that was a really good lap. At least it felt like it anyway. But what is wearing out? Oh, it's the energy store, never mind. Alright, returning to the garage. Let's strap on a new set. Well, that was a new set, to be fair. And that's why we need to save that ERS going into the lap. Right, I'm going to wait for everybody to go out. Alright. Sainz is heading out. I think a bunch of other people are going to be heading out as well. Everybody's moving around at exactly the same time, so let's get moving.
All clear the garage, please. Cars ready to leave.
And make sure I stay far enough behind people that I can get a good lap in, but also, you know, not too far ahead. Not too far behind, because otherwise we won't be able to do the lap in time. Yeah, let's turn the RS off. Alright, so P5 for that first lap, and there was definitely room for improvement. So you know what, I'm feeling really, really confident about this next lap that we're going to do. %on the energy store, that is going to be catastrophic for Austria. But for Silverstone, it's going to be great. I just want to have a lot of space in front of me for my lap. Ease up real quick. I'm half throttling and it's still using the RS. Strange. So here we go. Did it always do that on this game? Probably. I know it didn't on 24. And I used that to my advantage. That was not a good corner from us there. I think it's because we got some marbles on the tyres. Very good corner from us there though. That made it up. Not the greatest lap. Still an improvement though. I don't know what it is, I'm feeling a bit of a lack of grip. Right, final corner. Oh, 2/10 made up then. And the fastest sector 3. Nearly 3/10 made up. P5. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad at all. That's alright. I can work with P5. Let's see who's in front. The Ferraris 1-2 once again. Verstappen P3, Norris P4.
For now then, but really we're just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out.
Norris is starting to pick up some consistency. He was not very good at the start of the season, but P4 for him is strong. And we out-qualified Sergio Perez, which is a big deal. 1 point behind him in the whole thing. And we should definitely place ahead of him in the race. So, yeah, let's see what we could do in terms of the race. I'm quite excited to figure it out. I think we could definitely... No, we've been taking on Norris like all season. We came out on top against him in Jeddah. In a big way. So, I think we're going to be fine. I think we could possibly get that P4 for sure. Which would definitely help push us further ahead of McLaren in the Constructors. I think Mercedes are going to overtake us again. It is essentially 2 drivers versus 1. And I do want to win the Constructors in this career as well. So I think it's basically guaranteed that we won't be at Williams in Season 2. Red Bull, though. Maybe we could be at Red Bull. I don't know, because Perez is doing really well in the points. A lot better than he is in real life. Or would have been in real life in the 23 cars as well. McLaren, their driver pairing's pretty close. The Aston Martin seat is free, to be fair, as Alonso is retiring at the end of the season. So we'll keep an eye on Aston Martin. We do have new regulations coming in though, so it won't really matter whatever happens. But I think if we are going to leave Williams in Season 2, the likely destination would be the slot that's free, and that's Aston Martin. And to be fair, and this might be a little cheating here, in our My Team career, Aston Martin from Season 2 onwards always had a strong car at the beginning of the season. They dropped off throughout all of them, but we kept an eye on George Russell throughout all his seasons because I knew eventually we were going to get him as a teammate. And of course, one of our ex-teammates ended up going to Aston Martin as well, so Aston Martin was a team that we properly kept an eye on in our My Team series. So I know they've always been pretty good in that in the beginning. So who knows? Maybe when I'm in charge of the R&D, who knows? But we've got to focus on this team right now, and probably next season as well. We'll see.
it was won by none other than Gilles Villeneuve, the first Canadian to ever win his home race, and in whose honour the circuit would be renamed.
And that was with the Williams, I'm pretty sure.
210 miles per hour.
He won the championship with us, that's for sure.
Of turn 13, the 2.7 miles of the circuit Gilles Villeneuve are some of the quickest on the Formula One calendar. There are 14 corners in total, with 60% of the lap taken at full throttle, and average speeds clock in at about 130 miles per hour.
And that's where our powertrain advantage
Let's
comes
run you
into
through the
play.
driver grid order for today's exciting race. An immense lap from Carlos Sainz yesterday puts him in pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Norris, Russell, Perez, Hamilton, Oscar Piastri, Stroll, Albon, Gasly, Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Zhou, Tsunoda, Bottas, Ricciardo, Magnussen, and Nico Hülkenberg rounds off the grid.
Oof.
That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's
How
race.
did Ricciardo and Bottas do so well in quali for Spain? Because they are right back down to the bottom here in Canada.
They've been involved in a number of costly incidents lately. That's got to affect their mindset going into this race.
Certainly confidence is an important factor, and every time you're involved in an accident, it's not just the car you damage, but that confidence as well. But all the top racing drivers are able to tune that out when the race gets underway and focus on the job at hand.
All right.
After the points finished last race, let's aim to keep that momentum going.
Oh, okay, so we still got a mediums to hard strategy. Oh, it's because we're starting in the top 10. This game's really inconsistent for that. Sometimes we can, like, use the softs, but, like, we lose 3 seconds going on that here because we're not allowed to use them, so proper strange like that. Okay, so we're going to go hards to mediums, I think. And, I think we'll do the lap 9. We'll see how things feel, we'll see how things progress. But I definitely want to be always on the quicker compound in the second stint, that's for sure. So, yeah, without further ado, formation lap. So Verstappen right next to Leclerc, and we've got a front row seat to that battle there. And we might be able to get in the middle of it. Unfortunately though, it seems like most other people have actually got the same idea as I have. I don't know what tyres Sainz is on because my head is in the way. Hold on. Yeah, so a lot of people are actually on the hards. Our teammates on the softs, Albon starting right behind Stroll. So I'm really hoping he does well.
No rain expected for the time being.
But yeah, I'm hoping Norris bottles like he did in Baku. He bottled in a big way. I think he fell all the way down to P5 after starting on pole position. Norris has just had a really inconsistent season, so the best thing he can do is start picking up consistency. And he won't like that I'm right in his wing mirrors, because I've been fighting him quite hard compared to everybody else in the grid. So let's just see what happens. Alright. So my objective is to get in front of Norris, because I know we can do that. We've been fighting him all season and coming out on top. So let's aim the car a little bit towards the right.
Okay, good parking there, mate. Now we need to make sure we get a great launch as the race starts.
We'll be on the inside going into the first corner.
The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid
turn
is
2
formed.
technically.
Be ready with the clutch.
Which will be good. Prefer that. Here we go. Norris definitely has a slow start, so does Verstappen. And here we go, side by side with Norris here. And there you go, beautiful.
The energy stores depleting, reducing our overall capacity. The more charge you hold, the faster that capacity will drop.
Well, I do want to save it. Yeah, it is going to drop. And then in Austria, it's going to be really bad because we've got a sprint there as well. But we've only got 2 in a season. If we've got 3, I would have replaced it by now. Again, we've only got 2 in a season. There's only so much we can do. So I think we'll have to rely on our powertrain advantage in that race. Alright, everyone's starting to speed up a bit now. So yeah, once again, there is a Ferrari 1-2. Let's see what Verstappen can do about that. Very similar situation to real life. Although Verstappen doesn't have that monster lead to rely on like he does right now in real life against McLaren and Norris. But in this game, this happened a lot earlier in the season. Ferrari have not only caught up, but they've leapfrogged Red Bull. So Ferrari definitely winning the Constructors. But it's all down to Verstappen in terms of the drivers. Sainz, purple patch of form right now. Well, I say that. He could have won last race, but he locked up and gave the win to Perez. So who knows what he'll do here. The 2 McLarens behind us. So Piastri had a really good start. I think he started in P9, so that is really good for Piastri. I'm really missing that extra 10% from the energy store right now, that's for sure. Gotta really harvest it a bit more. Could have a go at Verstappen, you know.
DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
We could go for an undercut against the AI in front. Like if the grid stays this close, going for an undercut might be a really cool idea. The only reason McLaren are even within DRS range is because of those mediums.
That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Well done.
Ooh, shit. See, I missed that in F1 24. I quite liked that. No other F1 game has done that, you know, having to correct the car when the rear suddenly starts losing control. Doesn't do that in F1 24 at all. It's way too easy. Shit. Verstappen might be having a go at Leclerc here. I do have the urge to hang back and just let them fight. And then we could pull off an undercut. I don't know though, because that means doing the mediums for an extra lap, and the rears look like they light up like fire, as we've found throughout this entire weekend. I mean, we're losing control on the hards on lap 5, so I think the undercut, let's be real, is out of the question. I don't feel confident in doing that. Do I feel like we'll gain positions from doing that? Sure. But not for long. We'd lose it quite quickly, I think. So either we stay on lap 9 or we look to match these guys. Because the mediums are going to be atrocious. So I think we'll just match whatever these guys are doing. And to be fair, only one of the Ferraris is going to be pitting. So who's it going to be? Will it be Sainz first or Leclerc first? Who's going to get priority? I don't know, but here comes Leclerc. I'm going to squeeze him out. But yeah, we are losing time, big time now. So let's knuckle down.
The car in front is 1.7 seconds.
Piastri overtakes Norris. We're not going to have DRS, which is worst case scenario. That happened within a lap. And that's because, again, these rear tyres are absolutely woeful.
We're approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums.
Yeah, man, that top 3 absolutely shot away within one lap. So I think we're definitely going to stick to the strategy, because if I undercut, it's only going to be a short-term solution for what will be a long-term problem. And I had to defend really hard there because they surprised me then. So that's where we're losing the majority of our time. So the McLarens are really fighting us now. They're fighting each other as well. I think we should give up on that podium. But if they keep fighting, then we don't have to worry about them too much. Surprised Verstappen's not made any moves on Leclerc yet, but that really shows the power advantage for the Ferraris. Again, definitely the best car in the grid right now.
Okay, gap ahead is 4.5 seconds.
Might be worth letting Norris pass, to be fair. We're losing time anyway. Maybe save up on some ERS. And we get DRS on Norris anyway, so if he's gaining time, he'll basically pull us along.
Box, box, we're coming in this lap.
It might be worth going an extra lap on these hards, to be honest. Because I know the mediums are going to be so awful. I can feel it. So I think we'll go an extra lap on the hards to make the mediums that much better. But I mean, what have we got to lose at this point? Because now Piastri looks to make a move down the inside. And that's us out of DRS. Fuck, man. Why are you making a move? We lost 3/10 from me doing that. That's where all the time's been lost. Fucking McLaren poking their noses in. Right, decision needs to be made. And I think we're going to make it where... Yeah. We'll make it now. I was going to go an extra lap, but we really need to do... We really need to make a move. And look at that, Verstappen is in front of Leclerc. When did that happen? Right, Norris is on the hard, so we're going to get a big advantage right out of the gate here.
We want to finish the race on this compound.
He's gained time though, and these mediums are not giving me the grip I want. Honestly, not what I expected from this race, to be quite honest. A lot of wear on the rear tyres, unfortunately. Norris is still looking quicker than us, even on the hard, so... That might just be the aerodynamic advantage of all the other teams, and that's why we need to, you know, do a lot better and keep upgrading that.
Alexander's in the pits. Alexander in the pits.
Hopefully Piastri's nowhere near us when we come out.
2.3 seconds.
Yeah, we have gained some time on Piastri. Still P5, so track position has more or less stayed the same. Verstappen's in front of Leclerc though, that's going to be big for the title.
That's P5, you're in P5. Lando ahead. Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 2.3 seconds. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Piastri's behind you now, and the gap behind us is 1.5 seconds. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Our gap to first place is 7.1 seconds. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. And that's 8 laps to go.
Yeah, I think we might have to replace the energy store. I was going to save it for Silverstone, but I think we need to do that for Austria. 100%. And Max Verstappen takes the fastest lap away from me. Okay, that's crucial for him.
The car behind you's just come in for the hard tyres. Car behind, running hard tyres. Okay,
Sainz is still leading.
By 8.8 seconds.
Yeah, we're going to have to deal with Piastri. Perez overtakes Stroll, so he's fighting. The two Mercedes are behind them. Albon has definitely not had a good race. Let's see where he is.
The fastest lap at this point in time is a 1:12.7. We don't currently
Strong
have the
time
data
from
for that
Verstappen
request.
now.
Gap to your teammate behind is 9.6 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. They're in 15th. And the time last lap was a 1:02.
Alright, it's not looking good. Albon has completely dropped off the face of the earth. I don't know, our race pace has completely just dropped since I started this episode. Like, the first 4 races were great, and then today it's just completely deteriorated. Piastri is right on me. So he's going to be a big bother. Especially when I'm making mistakes like that, turning too early. Christ.
Okay, focus. We need to stay on form.
Oh, audacious dive bomb into the hairpin there. And we have retaken the lead. We're also going to get DRS off of that. Wow. Let's see a replay. Look at this. Almost kamikaze-like. I'm really surprised that there was no contact made in that area. Crazy. Here comes Piastri again, looking to make a move. We're going to have the inside though. And that is a big mistake from Oscar. Why did he not back off? Huge mistake from Piastri.
5.8 seconds.
If he'd have backed off before that corner, he probably might have overtaken me by now. And now he has to fight for P7 because Perez completely pounced him. And we should be in a little bit of a better situation as, you know, this ain't a fellow Mercedes engine chasing us, this is the Red Bull, which is, this is a Honda engine, which is not as nearly as quick as the Mercedes. Leclerc and Verstappen having quite the battle. I wonder what's happening between those two there, as Verstappen once again takes the lead. Yeah, really going back and forth. I gotta watch some of that. Look at that, side by side, Verstappen and Leclerc. These are your two championship rivals right here. I think Carlos Sainz is going to pick up the win. And look at that. Barely anything separating them whatsoever. As now Perez looks to make a move. They're going to be in trouble down the main straight, that's for sure. I'm just going to cut across him there. And now Perez moving past us. Christ. We are really cutting it fine on ERS.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 6.0 seconds.
Dirty air's affecting the car now, so... Oh god, and we're going to lose the rivalry to Perez as well. Going so slow around these corners now. Getting on the curb as well. Oh god, Perez is going to knock us out of DRS. I think we just about managed to stay within DRS, but I don't think it would be much help. Nope, he knocked us out. Ah, damn it! And now Piastri looks to make the move. Oh, this car is completely deteriorated on race day. There's no chance for catching up to them. No chance. Damn it. If only I'd defended Perez a bit harder there. I kind of let him by. I didn't want to be as aggressive with him as I was with Piastri earlier. Yeah, just couldn't handle it. The medium's doing a little better than the hards were, I will say. So I'm glad we started on the hards, don't get me wrong, but yeah, look at that. I don't know how they're so much quicker than me, to be quite honest with you. We're only receiving wear in terms of energy store capacity, so I really don't get it. Oh, contact there with Russell. It might just be like just a lack of ERS. There must be. Although Russell is not within a DRS range of Piastri. At least I don't think so. Doesn't look like it, does it?
Just started the final lap of the race. Final lap.
Bit of slip there on the exit. Even with DRS, we're losing it. I think Russell has now got DRS on Piastri, so it's basically over. This car completely deteriorated in this race. It just got worse and worse and worse as we went on. Carlos Sainz takes the win. We'll take a P8. It's still a points finish. But yeah, that was pitiful, especially in the last 5 laps. Absolutely pitiful. It was awful.
And that's the end of the race.
Christ.
We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Pitiful, pitiful car right now. Completely deteriorated in the last 2 races. Some things definitely need to be done to save this car right now.
What a drive that was to take the win for Ferrari today. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
2 races, 2 different winners.
You can see that red suit familiar to fans across the globe.
And I think Verstappen came out on top of Leclerc, judging from the animation.
Ferrari, do it again.
Because the winner shakes, like, daps up the 3rd place. And yeah, Verstappen comes out on top against Leclerc. That might end up being crucial by the end of the season. But yeah, Ferrari looking absolutely, really gargantuan kind of strong. They are definitely winning constructors. It's not even close.
This result then narrows the gap between our championship leader and the rest of the standings.
Oh, look at that though.
Let's focus on the driver of the day.
So Verstappen gained on Leclerc, but so did Sainz, and he's jumped Verstappen. 1-2 for Ferrari.
Strategies throughout with pinpoint precision has to be commended.
Let's move on to the constructors.
Wow.
Ferrari continue to extend the gap at the top of the table. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today as they make their way up the standings. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Well, yeah, our car just seems to be completely deteriorating right now. That is our worst result of the season, and you know what? It felt like it. Albon, honestly, skill-wise, probably should have got points today, but I really don't blame him for dropping because, I mean, we did as well. That was just not good in the slightest. That was awful. Awful. And the car feels it. There you go. And I think we might lose the rivalry with Perez now as well. Wait, no. Did he? Yeah, he did finish ahead of us. Okay, never mind. I was like, did he even finish ahead? Oh, and even our durability things are failing now as well. Right, let's apply those back on while we've got chance. Oh god, they're expensive. Oh, whatever. Right. So the energy store, that definitely needs replacing. That's for sure. Where is the ICE at in terms of... It's 24%, so... 43% on the turbocharger. Yeah, I can't tell you how it deteriorated that bad. It might come down to the chassis. Yeah, it is. Okay, so I've just read like the things that are on the bottom. So chassis definitely affects the brakes and the lifespan of the tires, and we are really, really bad in terms of the chassis. Like really bad, the worst. So we definitely need those chassis upgrades, and fortunately I think one of them is coming before the next Grand Prix, along with the status, which is definitely coming, and the rear wing upper flap. So all of those are failed upgrades from this episode. They will all be coming in for the Austrian Grand Prix, but the monocoque structure will be the most important thing for our lifespan in terms of the tyres. But guys, thank you all so much for watching, tuning in and watching this episode of F1 23 Driver Career Mode. If you guys liked it, be sure to hit that like button as hard as you possibly can, comment, share and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Until next time, peace.